Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, June 6th. I forgot to show you these blocks last week, and actually you've seen them before. I bought this, for lack of a better word, jelly roll a package of 2.5-inch strips at Big Lots a few years ago. I don't know, 2-3 years. Might not be that long. Might be last year or the year before. I'm not sure. But I bought them because, I don't know, the outer bits had like the turquoise and red, and I thought, oh, that'll be really cute. And then I unrolled them, and I was like, ooh, no, this isn't as cute as I thought it was going to be, kind of reaction. But I just decided to start putting them together anyway. So I started doing sort of rail fence blocks with them, strip piecing them together and then cutting them up. And yeah, so I can already see that I have a problem. I'm going to have to move one of these two guys. I don't know which yet. Yeah, or which one I'm going to swap it out with. Anyway, I got them out the other day. I want to say it was Memorial Day weekend because we had the 3-day weekend, or it might have been the weekend before that, and I was just looking for something that I could do that didn't require a lot of my brain, if you know what I mean. And so, but I just felt like sewing. It was actually probably a couple of weeks ago. And so what I did was I got the blocks out, and I still have some leftover blocks here. But some of them I cut the wrong size, so they're slightly smaller. So I guess they're just going to be orphan blocks. I don't know. Or I'll piece them and put them in the back somewhere. That's actually not a bad idea. So anyway, there are currently on the design wall 48 blocks. Is that right? 6 times 8. Yes. No. Yes. 48 blocks. Sorry. And so I have them 6 squares down by, no, 8 squares down by 6 squares across. So, I have 6 rows of 8 blocks sewn together, and if you turn them vertically, obviously it makes a good shape for a quilt. I'm currently trying to decide if I'm just going to take a neutral and sash it just between the rows maybe, and then put a matching stop border around the outside. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, so I'm really not sure what's going on there, but I decided to put them on the wall because I forgot to mention it a couple of weeks ago, and I also had nothing on my design wall, so I decided to put them up so that I could start thinking about that. The only other thing I'm working on is, you'll remember that I pieced this guy while I was in the process. Let me make sure I have it right side up. I don't. Pieced this guy. I bought that backing that I showed you last week, the black neutral, which is working really well. The first thing I did was use invisible thread according to directions from the class I was taking, the Ann Peterson class. She has you go around the inside border and any other large chunks, so I also went along these little sashing strips, and just stitch in the ditch with your walking foot, with invisible thread in the top, and then fabric or thread that matches the backing on the back in the bobbin. And so I did that, and then I started quilting the individual sections. So I started with the 10.5-inch blocks first. In the middle, of course, is that row that's 10.5 inches tall, but it's one strip of fabric going all the way across. So I'm saving that for last. But so I've done the 2 of the 3. I've quilted the 2 of the 3 of the blocks in the top row. I've quilted all 3 of the blocks in the bottom row. You can't really see a whole lot of what I did because I used, following the Angela Walters class, I used some pale yellow thread in the bobbin and the needle, because of all the colors that are on here. And I like it's very blendable. It blends in really well. I'm not that excited about my quilting, I'll have to tell you. And I did have some tension issues, and it seems to be stemming from the bobbin. basically every time I change my bobbin, my tension is off. And I have to go in and change my settings and experiment again until I get the tension working again. So, I don't know. So I'm clearly not being consistent in how I do my bobbins. I don't know. But it's throwing it off when it runs out of the bobbin and I'm still sewing. I'm not really sure what's happening there. But I adjust it and get it back to where it's supposed to be and then quilt some more. So you can see a little bit of the quilting on the back. I was trying some of the feather thingies that Angela Walters showed in her class. I gotta say I'm not a fan of my work. I know it takes practice. I know it does. I think I'm gonna stick to, I don't know, something more simple. Because it uses a lot of thread, number one, and I'm really not a fan of something that's that densely quilted. So I don't know what's going to happen to this quilt when I'm done. I don't know if it's going to go to Linus or what. I have no idea. But that is in progress. Speaking of Linus, Project Linus is this weekend. I do not have anything ready, and I am already one blanket behind because I didn't turn anything in May. I don't know if I'm going to have anything done for this weekend or not. I do have a couple of fleece blankets that were, I don't know, gift or store-bought. And individually, they're not very nice that I would want to just put a border on them. But I think there's a way I can take one of them and maybe cut it up and use it to decorate the other one. And so I might do that this week. I don't know. We'll see. And if I do, I will take a picture and I will include it in next week's video. Concert is over. Spring season for the chorus is over. New Mexico Women's Chorus. And concerts went well. I do not have video yet for you. I did have a coworker that attended that did a little bit of video, at least of my solo and maybe some of the other stuff on her work phone, but she hasn't been able to email it. She's been trying to email it to me, and it won't let her email it because of the size of the file. So she's trying to get that off of her work phone and into some sort of format that I can access it. So, and then of course I mean, it is filmed. We do film and record the performances, but I do not, you know, that they did that the last concert I was in January of 2016, and I have yet to see any video from that. So I'm gonna hope for my coworker to figure it out first. And so once I get that, I will include that in a video. But that's all I got for you. I look forward to watching your videos. I'm hoping to dive into the Phantom and Stitches UFO, not really a challenge, I guess, but finish your UFO thing. The only one I'm choosing, because it's really the only fandom one I have that's anywhere close to completion, is my original Project of Doom that I started in the original Quilt Along in 2011, and that I finished the top of, I finished the last 5 or 6 blocks, and actually it's more like 8 blocks. I finished the last 8 blocks and pieced the top during the 2015 Quilt Along. But I need backing for that, and I need batting for that, and I need to quilt it. So that is going to be my goal for the UFO deal in June and July. Yeah, and then I got to start thinking about the baby quilt. So we'll see. You know, I've been playing around with this. I don't really have to finish this right now. This isn't like something I have to do, so I might just start thinking about the pod and what I want to do. Maybe go looking for backing fabric soon. And batting. I keep an eye out to see if the batting's on sale, and if not, get me a coupon and go buy a thing of batting. And get started on that. I might just dive into that instead, since I'm not real excited about this and how it's going so far. I might just save that for later. Yeah, so that's all I have going on. It's kind of weird to not be going to rehearsals, even though this is just the first week. But I look forward to watching your videos, and I will see you next week. Bye!